Welcome to Revlytic, a place where ideas meet the road. Whether you're driving, relaxing, studying, or simply taking a moment for yourself, we're glad you're here. Tonight's journey is about more than the destination. It's about the thoughts, lessons, and perspectives we discover along the way. So settle in, enjoy the drive, and let's begin. Tonight we're talking about something that affects nearly everyone at some point in life: overthinking. Most people believe that thinking more will help them find better answers. And sometimes that's true. Thinking helps us solve problems, learn from experiences, and prepare for the future. But there is a point where thinking stops being helpful and starts becoming a trap. A point where reflection turns into rumination. A point where planning turns into paralysis. Have you ever replayed the same conversation in your mind over and over again? Have you ever spent hours worrying about a decision, imagining every possible outcome, only to end up feeling even more confused than before? If so, you're not alone. Overthinking is one of the most common mental habits in modern life. The strange thing about overthinking is that it often disguises itself as productivity. We tell ourselves that we are being responsible. We convince ourselves that we're gathering more information, preparing more carefully, or avoiding mistakes. But in reality, we're often doing something very different. We're delaying action because uncertainty makes us uncomfortable. Human beings naturally want certainty. We want guarantees that our decisions will work out. We want assurance that we won't fail, be rejected, or make mistakes. The problem is that life rarely offers those guarantees. No amount of thinking can completely eliminate uncertainty. No amount of planning can predict every outcome. Yet many people spend years trying. Imagine standing at a crossroads with two possible paths ahead. An overthinker often believes there is one perfect path and one terrible path. They become obsessed with finding the perfect answer. They analyze every detail. They consider every possibility. They seek advice from everyone around them. And while they're busy searching for certainty, time continues moving forward. The truth is that most successful people are not successful because they always make perfect decisions. They're successful because they're willing to make decisions despite uncertainty. They understand that clarity often comes from action, not from endless analysis. Think about learning how to drive a car. You could read books about driving for months. You could watch videos and study every rule. But eventually you have to sit behind the wheel and start driving. Real understanding comes through experience. Life works the same way. Some lessons can only be learned through action. One of the biggest dangers of overthinking is that it steals opportunities. Not all at once, but gradually. Opportunities often have a limited window. A conversation you never start, a project you never launch, a skill you never learn, a goal you never pursue. Not because you weren't capable, but because you spent too much time waiting for certainty that never arrived. Another hidden cost is emotional exhaustion. Overthinking consumes enormous amounts of mental energy. The mind keeps running in circles, revisiting the same concerns without reaching a conclusion. The result is often stress, anxiety, and frustration. Ironically, the harder we try to think our way out of uncertainty, the more overwhelmed we become. The good news is that breaking free from overthinking doesn't require shutting off your mind. It simply requires changing your relationship with uncertainty. Instead of demanding complete certainty, you learn to accept that uncertainty is a natural part of life. You stop asking, what if everything goes wrong, and start asking, what if I can handle whatever happens? This shift changes everything, because confidence is not knowing that nothing will go wrong. Confidence is trusting yourself to deal with challenges if they arise. When you understand this, the need for endless analysis begins to fade. A useful question to ask yourself is this: am I solving a problem or am I replaying a problem? Solving a problem leads to action. Replaying a problem leads to repetition. The first moves you forward. The second keeps you stuck. As we continue this drive, it's worth remembering that some of the most important moments in life happen when we're willing to move forward without having every answer. Every meaningful journey begins with uncertainty. Every new opportunity involves risk. Every important decision comes with unanswered questions. The people who grow the most are not those who eliminate uncertainty. They're the ones who learn how to move forward alongside it. They understand that waiting for perfect clarity often means waiting forever. As we reach the end of today's journey, here's one final thought. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it was never meant to be a prison. Thinking should help you move forward, not keep you standing still. At some point, there comes a moment when the next step is not more analysis, it's action. You don't need every answer today. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need complete certainty about the future. You only need enough courage to take the next step. Because sometimes the best way to stop overthinking is to start moving. Thank you for spending this time with Revlytic. If today's journey gave you a new idea, a new perspective, or simply a moment of peace, then it was time well spent. Until our next drive, stay curious, keep moving forward, and take care. This is Revlytic, signing off.